Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 90 Degree Show, hosted by the Marching Podcast and Blog Talk Radio. Advice may be misleading, but examples are always clear. And here's your host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Good evening and welcome to the 90 Degree Show. I'm your host, Joe Beard, and happy to be of service for you tonight. Let's see here. Man, today is November 22nd, 2015, 5 o'clock on the West Coast and 8 o'clock on the East Coast. We appreciate all those listening live, whether at iTunes, our website, Blog Talk Radio, Facebook, Twitter, or wherever you are on the interwebs this evening. At the end of the broadcast, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation to the network, if you feel so in your heart, of course. Just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. All right. Thanks to God for listening, everyone. I think we have Christy, the great Christy Walker here in the queue. Let me unmute your microphone. What's going on, Christy? How you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was backtracking a whole bunch of stuff, so I didn't hit you up before we went live, but I saw you on
no problem.
So yeah, I was running around here. You know, Sundays can be off the chain sometimes, you know.
Yep.
Well, that's good. We're glad that you have a good week and everything before we talk about week 12.
Yeah, I had a pretty good week. Yeah, nothing to complain about. Just getting ready for the Thanksgiving break.
I heard that. Yeah, well, happy Thanksgiving, Christy Walker.
Oh, well, same to you.
Yes, and happy Thanksgiving to our listeners. Happy Thanksgiving to Rashad. He texted me, said he couldn't be on the show tonight. But thanks again, and shouts out to you. Shouts out to Block Band and all the other people that are usually listening. Again, we have some really good numbers this year, Christy. So we basically have a good, strong following that usually listens to us live, and it's a good number of folks. So we appreciate those. Yeah. So appreciate you again, and I think we got some good folks listening to the show. And people starting to, want to get in and help and support and give out those scholarships in April. So we really, again, appreciate all the love. And definitely we thumbs up. We feel like we're going somewhere to change the world. So tonight, let me turn this off here. Tonight we are week 12. We have the great Florida Classic tonight. Also, I saw Jackson State and Prairie View, and the reason why I had to see this was because I'm really impressed with Prairie View, but also this is usually for all of those 90s folks, a lot of the 2000 folks, this is usually the Alcorn weekend. This is usually when the freshmen cross over into the band. I don't know what's going, the difference now, but, this is the last game. It was always the Alcorn game. And when it hit, quadruple zero, you were all excited. It was normally the Soul Bowl. Heard it the Capital City Classic. I heard it as a couple of things. But,
I know Capital City Classic.
Yeah, but they discontinued it. Actually, we talked about it a couple of years ago. But so now it's Prairie View, so that's another good matchup. But also, Miles played Alabama State.
Yeah, that was good. I heard a little bit of that. I didn't hear the whole thing, but I saw a little bit of that footage, and that was giving me everything that I wanted.
Right. So I was excited for both schools, and shout out to Brother Snipes. I see you up there, brother. Brother Snipes kind of tall, huh? But up there on that, I be always scared for them directors being on. I don't care who you are. Mr. Gray used to like skedaddle and shaking all up in there.
Yeah.
I be scared. Please don't fall. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, so shout out to everybody. It was a really good week of tape. Tonight's show is brought to you by Zimballistic, Otis Jefferson, and Otis Jefferson and Zimballistic on YouTube. They, normally post things. Shout out to you, Errol Menzel. Now I don't know him, but he posted on his Facebook page, and I think I saw it in a group. I saw Fam's halftime show from his video, and of course HBCU marching bands and Showtime Web. I saw some of the different angles there, the footage of the Florida Classic there with Showtime Web, and shout out to Double Time Entertainment as well. Barney said he was there and he filmed it. So. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show. We'll give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform, which rolls us into our first set of commercials. I'll mute the microphone so we can get right into talking about everything, Christy. You can email the show at marchingpodcast@gmail.com, tweet us at Marching Podcast, or follow our blog 4.themarchingpodcast.com. If you are listening live and have a Blog Talk Radio account, you can log into the chat room and leave your comments there. Last and definitely not least, check out the website, themarchingpodcast.com. Let's take the time to hear from our sponsors. Tonight's show is brought to you by Liquid Effects Photography, The Edge One Productions, Block Band Music, bandhead.org, hbcubands.com, and Double Time Entertainment. Let's take the time to hear from them now.
This is Warren Shaw, Chief Arranger and the voice of McClarkenland University, Mighty Marching Panthers. You are listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, The Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Chopping It Up is a podcast of one-on-one interviews with positive role models that have a connection through music and or education. Chopping It Up is all about inspiring our youth for a great future and providing a roadmap on how to get there. We also chop it up to give insight to anyone looking for information or hope in their endeavors. Chop it up with us on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. Chopping It Up, changing the world through positive interaction.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
Hey everyone, this is Dr. Darian Hampton, Meharry Medical College School of Dentistry, class of 2007, and you are listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
We're back, and Prairie View A&M is bringing us back from the commercial break. Saw them again. We saw them a little bit with Jackson State this year. Really excited about that matchup because, like I said, like them. Let me go ahead and unmute Christy's microphone. But yes, Christy, I will give you the floor. How was your week 12?
Well, I have to say it was kind of slow, but I had some things going on that I couldn't really catch a lot of footage. Of course, I did go to the North Carolina A&T and North Carolina Central game this weekend, also known as Aggie Eagle Classic. Oh, I'm sorry?
I was saying, okay. I saw some like posts online about like A&T and Central. I saw a really funny one with Drake as A&T, and I think Meek Mill was Central. I saw a whole bunch.
Well, you know how it goes. You know how that goes. It's rivalry week, and everybody, you know, everybody's got to get their shot in, you know.
Right. So, yeah, I didn't put together they play. It's a trip trying to see. You can't, like, see all the greatest rivalries, and I guess that's a good thing because we got so many, you know what I mean? But yeah, go ahead. That's what's up.
Well, you know, I thought that, and I've been saying this all year. I've been saying that Central is pretty much on the come up now that Thurman Hollins is the director. I've always been impressed with his work. And, you know, they're definitely going to be somebody to be reckoned with. You know, they have a good sound. But what was interesting was, and I don't know what happened, but so, you know, it was in Greensboro this year. So Central went on first, being that they're the visiting team. And they went on, and then I guess they cleared the area so that A&T could start their show. Well, there was some kind of like scuffle or words or something amongst the band members at Central. Now, it wasn't like a A&T versus Central thing. I think it was like two of Central's band members fussing at each other for some reason. And yeah, it was interesting because, you know, we're watching it and the police. First of all, shout out to the police. It was like probably the most heavily police game I've ever been to. But if you know any history about A&T and Central,
sorry, wrong button. I was sorry, wrong button.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, but if you know any history of A&T and Central, you'll understand why the police were there. But I would just say that, you know, the police came out, and this was like right before A&T was gonna start performing. The police came out. I don't know what that was about. Maybe one of your listeners knows what that was about. But I found that to be interesting. But anyway, A&T show, I really enjoyed this show. I don't know what the theme was. It seemed like it had like some kind of animal theme because a lot of songs that they play had like animal names in them. And again, I just really am impressed the A&T is really playing outside of what's typically thought of as, HBCU band music. I mean, they will go into the rock songs and the, like the punk songs, and like I even heard they played some Hungry Like the Wolf, Duran Duran, and I was singing it, and nobody else around me knew it but me, because, I just love 80s music anyway. So, right. And I was a Duran Duran fan back in the day. And so, they can, yeah.
Anybody that was on MTV was tight back in the day.
Yeah, basically. Well, we're around the same age, so we still, we kind of have that similar point of reference. Right. But anyway, I thought that was a strong show as well. They did have a fifth. I actually, for the first time in a long time, I did not stay for a fifth. I was with my family. We were going to get something to tailgate, and I wasn't really – I didn't feel like at that fifth that I would see anything that I have not already seen.
Yes.
From both schools. And plus it's week 12, I know the rivalries are big. Well, you know what? Let me scratch that. I'm not going to say that give the week 12 excuse, because I know Bethune-Cookman and FAMU got up for each other, and that's the last week. I mean, there's something to be said about a rivalry. But I just had the feeling that nobody was going to really reinvent the wheel, and so. But I mean, from what I heard, Central's getting better day by day, I guess, and it's going to be real interesting what happens next year, because I always give new band directors or band directors that are new at that particular school, I give them the benefit of the doubt, because, especially if they come kind of at the last minute, like right before camp, and, I give them the benefit of the doubt to get a couple years to get on their feet. But now I feel like, Delen's had a couple of years to get on his feet, and I think he might be ready to really, really do some things next year. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with at Central, and that's very hard for me to say, but I got to tell it like it is.
Right.
I gotta tell it like it is, and A&T, although I think A&T as a whole probably sounded a little bit better to me, and this is my opinion, last year, I still think that they are a very strong program, and I thought that they had a good year. So now that we're moving on to the Celebration Bowl, it's going to be interesting to see who comes out up between A&T and I think it's either Jackson and Alcorn. No, Grambling and Alcorn. I think they play in the SWAC championship to figure out who's going to the Celebration Bowl. But I kind of want Alcorn. Grambling's never. Yeah, you said that real quick.
You should want them.
Okay, because I've never been a huge Grambling fan. I mean, I appreciate them for their history and a lot of things that they've done through the years, but they're just meh to me. I don't know what it is. Just they're okay, but not one of my favorites. So I really like to see Alcorn because I heard they're having a really good year this year, and even from what I've seen, I mean, I saw clips of them earlier in the season, and I thought that they were doing a good job this year. So we'll see. Who knows?
I'm excited myself. Yeah, definitely. Oh, and right quick, you said your listeners, our listeners, because I'm sure. Because I'm definitely sure, like 90% of the folks, 99% probably are on the fifth, because that's the main place I definitely go to pub the show.
Okay.
So definitely, I definitely think.
Well, shout out to everybody on the fifth.
Yeah, shout out to the Mecca.
Okay.
I hadn't said anything on there in a while. I actually commented on FAM just because I hadn't done it in a while. But that's really cool that you were there. I'm excited that you got that. I definitely can put that in. I'm gonna post editing. Let folks know we have that in the show. But that is definitely something I would like to see. Like you said, like you probably know the A&T was just gonna have the good halftime show, but in the stands it would pretty much come down to the play calling. You know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't say that. I still would say at this point, I feel like A&T. Well, I'll definitely say that A&T I think has a better overall sound than Central. But that's not saying by any means that Central's bad or is struggling. I just feel like Central needs, like this time next year they'll be ready to go.
They need more time. Delenn need more time.
Yeah.
Right, definitely. That's what's up. So yeah, definitely that is that executive mind right there. So you already got the analysis. That's pretty accurate. I'm sure a lot of folks would agree with you, because that's we did see them earlier this year against somebody, and yeah, I totally agree. But they're clean and they're getting better. And I just really like what the smaller bands on the East Coast they're able to do, and they're able to keep things together with good sound and mature from there. So definitely shout out to those, and I love the rivalries. I saw a lot of those Central A&T things this week. So
yeah,
that's
mean.
actually really
cool. They were kind of out of control.
Yeah. So, what else went on for you this week? This week in week 12 for you?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like I listened to. I listened to snippets of bands, but I didn't listen to like an entire fifth or hear an entire halftime show. I saw the snippets of the Prairie View A&M. I think what you were playing when we came back from commercial. I thought. Like I said, I've been a big fan. I've always been a fan of Prairie View A&M. Shout out to Prairie View A&M because they're some cool people too. Like they're just cool people. The ones I've interacted with, they're just cool people to hang around. But but I mean, I knew that this year is a very strong year for them, and I'm looking forward to seeing them at the Honda. Hint, hint.
Yes. Yes. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them at the Honda myself. I'm trying to.
You mean live, not like a Periscope thing, like in person?
Right, live and in person. Yes, okay. I definitely have somewhere to stay, so that's definitely not an excuse.
Okay.
I just need to get suite and all that other stuff. Maybe a car or something.
Because I know somebody that's hosting a suite, and I mean, I don't know about you, but if you want to be around the band heads and not just like some randoms, and you want to like be able to stretch your legs out and charge your phone and have your own private bathroom and be like an executive suite of an NFL stadium, which you who knows when you'll get that chance again. I mean, I know somebody hosting a suite that I can get you in touch with that person, and they can set it up.
Well, while we have that time on the air, we definitely, if anyone else is interested in that, what Christy said, that experience that Christy described, definitely contact the show. She will hook you up with those people. I definitely saw the Sonic Boom has a suite, and pretty much heard that I may never be allowed in Mississippi if I showed up and not was in that suite. So I definitely will still be looking out for the fifth quarter every year. I might just get a ticket to both, though, Christy. You know what I'm saying? I just say, hey, just go to both.
Well, here's the thing. So, when Bethune-Cookman is on, you can go and sleep. No, I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. Bethune. Well, anyway.
But straight up though, Christy, they did, and I'm still give you the floor. They got up for the performance, and that was something I was going to bring up for you later.
They get up for fam. I mean, that's never been a question. I mean, it's everybody else they don't care about.
Oh yeah, that's a trip, man. Like I even saw there was a difference. I guess I said now there was even a difference between Otis's. Shout out to Otis. He was very close, so you actually saw a lot of indecisiveness in his.
Oh really?
Yeah, man. And it was a trip because it's like can people turn on the button? You know, that was always the thing about the Lakers and Phil Jackson them. It's like, all right, well, they just rolling through the league. They just know how to turn on the button. Is that a real button? You know, and that's what I wonder about.
Right.
Because there was some indecisiveness there. And then the other angle, Showtime Webb, you didn't see it as much because, of course, he was at, you know, the usual band tape up from up high Garrett angle. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was interesting. That's the main thing I thought about. I was like, man, they marching hard, they dancing hard. Right there, brother. And one brother was like, he tapped the other guy on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, yeah. You check it out. Check out Otis's. You know what I'm saying? And of course, I'm not putting anyone out there. I'm just saying what I saw. It's the tape, man. You know, because I like Bethune. You know, Brother Drain, root to the bros up there, and then my homegirl Melita out here, we like Bethune. But
I love Bethune. Now, they can play a ballad. They give you all you want.
So that's definitely something I wanted to ask you something about, Christy, because I always do this with Rashad, and sometimes Garrett or someone will hit me up on Twitter, but they played, I think Bethune played this slow song for their ballad, and I really like the song. I don't know what it is.
I can't remember because, like I said, I saw pieces of everybody's show. I didn't see like everybody, like a whole show. So I don't remember, and that's not me hating on BCU this time. It's not me hating. It's legit. Like I just can't remember it.
All right. Let me help you out. Let me see what's that. Whoa, no, oh no, whoa, no. You know the song I'm talking about, Christy Walker?
Oh, If I Ever Fall in Love Again? Shy? No?
I don't think it's that.
Probably
no,
not.
No, it's not that. It's something. It's a couple of bands have played this song this year. And I think I got it on the clip to play when we come back from Bethune.
Is it that Jasmine Sullivan song? No, that's a little faster.
Yeah, it's tight though. I'm sure some of the listeners know, and you know, saying folks might be out there listening. But Rashad, you do that with Rashad, and he'd be like, "Oh, that's so and so." But yeah, that song.
I'm usually good at this game. I'm usually good at it. Okay.
I might not be singing it right either, but you're gonna hear it from the next commercial. But I like that song. Yeah, I like this. I think Alcorn played it. Somebody else played it, and I actually got a clip of another band this year playing it. But they played that, and it was really, really good. Of course, you know. I'll get into that later. But go ahead, Christy. What else there? I know you saw snippets of stuff. Anything else? Any news? Anything else that you saw that's interested, worth banter this evening?
Well, you know, I've just been thinking. It's the last regular week of a band this year, and I feel like the season just went by super fast. Mm-hmm. And I know some people may say that every year, but I just felt it this year. And I think maybe being a part of this podcast has made me like assess the week by week. You know, it's made me think about things more. So I thought it was a pretty good season. I mean, I feel like I still stand by saying that Periscope has changed the game. I still stand by that. And so, you know, I'm just looking forward to some of these bands playing things that are not your typical R&B song, even though there's nothing wrong with R&B. I love R&B, but, you know, playing something that's a little bit outside the box. And, you know, just, because, I mean, with Periscope, you get instantaneous critiques, which can be good and bad. So, yeah.
I really enjoy it, you know, and I enjoy the comments. I'm just somebody that just laughs and stuff like that. But definitely like you said, Periscope has definitely changed the game. That's probably the biggest thing. We probably have to give them a little award or a little shout out in the award show. But they definitely, I think, changed things because, like they say, it's the sideline reporter. And shout out to everyone else that's actually signed up, and there's so many new little videographers, if you will, and they not big level.
And shout out to Verizon and AT&T, because those seems like those are the only providers that do something, a little something with with us. Shout out to them.
Yeah. I think I have.
Because if you have Sprint like me, you losing. You just losing. That's why I don't even mess with it. I don't even mess with trying to record. I just forward the recordings to you all. I don't do the recording. So
that is really interesting you say that, because Sprint back in the day was like the bomb.
I know it was. And even though I have unlimited data. Oh, Sprint is the pits. I mean, this is the first time I've really considered changing my provider when my contract is up, because of Periscope and because of band.
That's tight though. That's an investment in the business. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I mean, Verizon, if you're listening, you guys should help get involved. Because Christy just gave a huge shout out there, and definitely get involved here with the network. Donate to the podcast, and work something out with us. Some type of, give us our own phones. We'll be able to give you the money back through scholarships. I'm trying to tell you.
Yes, exactly.
So that's what's up. Everybody else would have the little Periscope phone, and they have, we could put the little icons on there. We'll probably have to do a couple commercials here on the network, but that's all good though. So way to go, Christy. Always thinking, always moving forward.
Yeah, I do what I can.
Right. So, anything else there for week 12? Because I know I'm going to bounce some things off of you based on, what I've seen. But anything else going on with week 12?
Well, nothing really. I mean, I do have a little short announcement to make. I don't know if it's an announcement or what, but Drumline is on VH1 right now as we speak.
The first one? With the
the first one. Oh, I don't count the second one. Come on. I don't. That does not count.
Oh. Why you say that? Not with Mario Van Peebles, the daddy. That's my boy, man. That man. Oh man, that hurts, Christy Walker.
Wait a minute. Are you being funny? Are you for real?
Well, okay. Let me take it down a notch. Maybe not really for real, but I did. I guess I'm just that. I'm
you
so
liked
much.
It?
Well, I tried to like it. I really forced myself to like it. It's hard for me, Christy. I guess, let me bounce something off you right.
Here go this living in California. That's what you going to say. I know you.
Well, no, not that. But I do want to ask something. When you want to support something, and it's like, you know what, because it's for the struggle, it's for the people, like you understand. And if it's whack or if it's not good, do you say it's not good, or you still tough it out and be like, yes, I'm going to support it because this is who, So it's kind of like that. I'm kind of on that fence with that movie.
Okay.
I don't want to say.
I mean, I get that. I get that, but I just no love lost.
So Christy, what do we do though? I mean, do we say, hey, you guys, you need some help next time or something?
And why after so long? I mean, it was, it was last year, right? So that's 12 years since the movie had first come out, because it came out in December of 2002. And so we've got, 12 years? I mean, I don't know.
And Nick Cannon came back, and Nick Cannon came back, and then they had
Nick Cannon's
the love.
Cool, though.
Boy, what you doing with Nick Cannon? That's my boy.
No, Nick Cannon. I mean, okay, so I'm gonna just say that when the first Drumline came out, that's the only one that counts to me. My partner with the website and I, we flew out to New York for the press junket, where we interviewed, like, you know, Nick Cannon, Orlando Jones, and Zoe Saldana, and Charles Stone, who's the director, and yeah, I mean, they were cool. They were all cool. So, I mean, I understand why Nick Cannon wanted to be in it, but it was just.
Maybe we should do something better. We should just take over all of that stuff. I remember you posted, or someone posted not too long ago, about 30 for 30s. Like, we should come up with some 30 for 30. And we really should. You know what I'm saying? We really should.
I love 30 for 30s. I mean, you know, that would be awesome.
So we definitely should do that. Maybe we should come up with our own movie. Because that's what I guess that's what I'm torn. I guess that's what I'm getting to. It's hard for me to just come out and be like, damn, that was whack. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want nobody to hear it. Or like sometimes, this is what gets me, Christy. I'll be over my house and maybe some of my coworkers come over here, and this happened more before I had a family and stuff, but I'll be watching one of Jackson State's games, or I'll be watching, you know, something for the SWAC, and I have it on TV, and people come over and they'll be like, damn, who is this? Like, because, you know, it looked different than when you look at, like, the SEC and all that on TV.
Right,
and I mean,
right.
It does, you know, it's just hard for me to say some things are whack. I guess just what my heart is connected to, I guess. You know what I mean? But no, I thought it was all right. I thought it was pretty good. I wasn't sure.
Terrible.
Yeah, the part with the girl from Destiny's Child and the dude who was killing people on Empire, I didn't understand the struggle between them. Like how he was like antagonist, pro-can. Yeah, I didn't really care for that part. But still.
I didn't care for any of it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember it. I don't even think I remember the storylines. Like, really? Like, I'm going to just be real. I watched it to hate watch it. You know, like, you know when you watch something, not because you're really interested, but, you know, you watch it to hate watch it. I feel the same way about that Aaliyah movie. I watched it to hate watch it because I knew it was going to be terrible. I knew it.
What Aaliyah movie?
Oh, Lord. There was an Aaliyah, like the story of Aaliyah movie on Lifetime where, like, it was just all wrong. I mean, Google it if you want to laugh. I mean, it was terrible. You know, Aaliyah's family didn't give permission for any of the music, so there was like no Aaliyah music in it except for songs that she sang as remakes because, you know, like she did the cover of Out Your Best, You Are Loved. Well, that's not her song. That's the Isley Brothers song. So they got Isley Brothers permission, but they didn't get, you know, the permission of Aaliyah's family. But anyway, I'm just saying that and by the way, she's in both the movies. The person who played Aaliyah is the person that played in Drumline too. But yeah, I mean,
the main character was Aaliyah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh snap! So it was it wasn't a documentary. Oh
no,
snap.
No. It was definitely scripted. But
So now I want to check it out now. I really like Aaliyah. I was scared of the vampire. That's the vampire movie. I thought about it. That's what I thought that's what you were talking about now. But yeah, I couldn't watch. I don't deal with scary movies. But that's a trip. The little drumline girl was Aaliyah. Oh man, I have to check that out.
Yeah, well. Yeah. That was something. I mean, I understand. I'm with you. I understand, you know, you down for the cause.
It's
woo-hoo, band heads, whatever. But, no.
It's hard. It's hard, man. Sometimes some of Tyler Perry shows, too, like, they look too, like, cartoony or something. And I'll be like, oh, man, like.
Well, I saw, so Drumline 2 is on Netflix. It came up as, like, one of my recommended videos or whatever. I was like, X.
That's actually pretty funny, because you're supposed to be like not Xing it so they get the numbers and like the ratings and stuff, yeah.
But good is good and bad is bad. And you know what? I felt like at least Drumline was a movie about bands. I felt like Drumline 2 was a movie like about black college with a little band. Instead of like being a band, instead of it being about like a band at a black college, it's like, it's kind of like you know what it reminds me of? The difference between A Different World, the first season, and then after Debbie Allen got on the show and she started directing, and it seemed like a real HBCU. You know, the difference was just that clear.
Okay. I remember, because of course I saw A Different World, of course, a lot.
Well, the first season, it felt like black people at a white college. After Debbie Allen started directing season 2 on, then it felt like a black college.
You got more involved with a lot more of the characters. Whole lot more.
Yeah, and I mean, and they even just had like little touches. Like I read in some article somewhere that like for the pit and everything, they were like Debbie Allen said, "There's no hot sauce on these tables. This is not a black college." Like she just basically came on the set and made it just more authentic.
Right.
Instead of it being like a white school with black people in it. I mean, it just didn't feel like a HBCU that first season. That's just my opinion.
That's what's up. I mean, that's outstanding though. That's some good stuff. I see the little music came on here for our first commercial break, but we definitely can roll over into the next one though.
Okay.
I know because we got off, we started talking about Drumline. Was there anything else that you had want to talk about in week 12?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
You want to bounce some ideas off on me?
Yeah, definitely in the next segment, because I saw the Florida Classic. I just going to go through the stuff that I saw. And if you remember some stuff you can get into, we'll get into it. But definitely in the next segment, I'll mute the microphone. We'll get into the stuff that I saw this week. Most of the stuff that everybody saw in the trailer. But you're listening to the 90 Degree Show this week 12, Florida Classic, and some of the other things we'll get into. Shout out to Different World. And shout out to Drumline 1. Shout out to the second one too. But shout out with like on the end with it. All right, y'all. We'll be back.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Donovan E. Scott, CEO and founder of E. Scott for Real Music Productions, LLC. You are listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge One Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN, and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
Hi, this is Erica Jones from A Social Life, and you are listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
Bringing you back from a commercial break is Bethune-Cookman. This is the song, Christy. Let me unmute the microphone. Christy, so this is the song
okay.
you're talking about.
I mean, it sounds like "Send for Me" by Atlantic Starr. That's what it sounds like. But I may be wrong. No, not that part. Not that part.
Oh.
Well, maybe we're at the ending.
Yeah, it is. It's at the end. But yeah, that's the song. I'm like, man, I like that song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the little song. I like that song. Somebody else played it this year. I think Alcorn, somebody. 718-664-6025. You're week 12 here with the 90 Degree Show. It's the Florida Classic. I got a chance to see here. So the halftime show, I saw FAM. I saw the Florida Classic. And I saw Jackson State and Prairie View.
Okay.
So the halftime with FAM Florida Classic, Christy Walker, it was too close to call. And let me just say, and this, every person I talk to, a lot of FAM folks, they like, oh man, we ain't back. You know what I'm saying? We gonna be back. Shout out to the brother Terrell Hamilton in my chapter. Went to FAM. Shout out to the bros. He was like, oh
I'm
man,
you shouting out your fraternity.
Because that's what I be thinking about. Because out here in California, you had a banter, with the brothers. It's good to see folks from the black schools back. At least once a month, you get to holler at. And he went to FAM, and, he's like, oh, man, we ain't back yet, but blah, blah, blah. I like FAM, like, right now. Don't get no bigger.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree with that.
FAM is tight, and their sound is really good. So it seemed like, to me, they already, like, back to, like, sound-wise what they need to be. They don't need to get no bigger, to me.
Truth be told, I was really shocked that they did not get chosen for Honda. Like, I just knew they were going to be back this year because I knew that they were having a good year. And, I mean, I still stand by what I said earlier in the year when I felt like they were a little bit underrated. Like, people kind of slept on them. Ain't nobody checking for FAM like they used to.
Or maybe
and I just find that to be that whole turn of events just to be so interesting. I don't know how I feel about it.
It's interesting maybe because, they're expecting them to be big again, or they're expecting them to be, I guess, on the map like they used to be. And maybe some, different band purists or different folks, we feel differently. But I just like the size that they are now. I never was into the humongous concert band stuff.
Me neither.
But man, they just as loud and just as powerful with the numbers that they have now. And I don't think they have 300 people. I don't believe. So it was good to see, them. They had a good show. And it was typical Fam with the creativity. I still don't like their transitions. Like, their transitions aren't clean. It's just like they like Rashad said, they just get there. So that kind of bothers me. But one thing that kind of hurt their show, their execution of, like, when they got in the steel formations. Like, they were a tank at one time, and they made some, good formations, but the transitions and then just the execution of the actual formations, it wasn't premium yet. And again, that may be a difference with their spacing, and maybe they used to, 4 or 5 people, per 2 yards being on the field a little bit more, but their precision was never their forte. And it just came out a little bit more. But I thought that creativity was there. They had the tank, and then the tank fired. And then I'm not sure the dude dropping the basketball, or he was dropping a ball into something. I'm not sure. It was maybe he's throwing it with the trash away or something. I'm not sure. But that could have just been a little bit more. That could have been more precise.
Right.
As far as BCU goes, usual show, good sound, but of course they had all the energy this time. They was crump. They was marching, they was dancing.
Of course.
And like I said, if you watch Otis's clip, you see a little bit more indecisiveness. So again, it's like pushing the button, flipping the switch. That's what I thought about Phil Jackson. It's like all BCU. I don't know if you could just turn it on like that. But there are 2 big hiccups in that video. It's obvious, and it may not be obvious from up top, but it stuck out. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what? There was something. You reminded me of something that I forgot to mention when I was talking about A&T and Central. So I noticed that although they had a really good sound, they didn't hardly move. They didn't hardly drill, and that's I don't like that, because that kind of comes off as kind of like a cop out. Like, of course you cranking. You're not moving. You're not tired. You're not winded. And I felt like Central, they didn't drill that much. And I know Bethune-Cookman, they are the master culprits of that. But I'm sure, and I did not see their show from yesterday, but I'm sure that they were up there. I'm sure they were doing a lot of movement because, they get up for Fam.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, but any other Saturdays, just like, okay, we going to move 16 counts here, play a little something. We going to move 32 counts here, and we going to gush. And, yeah.
Well, I have to say, they did a better drill, and the execution of their formations was better than Fam. So that part of their show was what was better. Their transitions were cleaner, and they formed a hand forming the number 1. So just like, run around like Joe Namath, he run into the tunnel with the number 1. They made that formation, and it was very, very clean. So I had to give them shots out on that. And then at the end of their show, they made a cursive writing of like a name. And, of course, I don't know what it was.
It was Wildcats. I saw that. It was Wildcats.
Okay. So
yeah, I saw a picture of that.
So that's good. I think that, of course, with the precision for what they're doing, I like that, But it was, like I said, it was hard to call just because Fam had the creativity. They had, a little bit more of the showmanship with the flair. BCU seemed like they executed better, but Fam seemed to sound a little bit better. And this is, of course, I saw two
Fam
different
sounded
videos.
better than BCU?
I felt Fam. You know what, Christy? I like a little bit of a darker sound.
Okay.
Or something that's clear, but you still got the bass on the bottom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Maybe
Fam's got
that middle brass or that lower brass, like the euphoniums.
Yes. They got it. They still have that bottom, and I think Fam, they just Bethune-Cookman, they just have, just a good overall sound. They don't have the bass turned up as much. Like, they ain't got the amplifier on that high. When you rolling through the hood, a little bit of a rattle a little bit, I like.
Right. I totally get that.
So I was like, okay, like, dang, that was tough. So it was like, man, so if anyone else, got a difference of opinion, because, of course, reading a lot of threads, people was like, oh, man, it was either, like, love or hate either side.
Yeah, the family, there's no love lost between them two schools.
Right. One guy even said on the fifth quarter they were talking about how the Fam Bethune page on Facebook was off the chain, of course, with all the memes and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I'm not on that page, but I'm definitely on, of course, with Jackson State and all that. So all of those things can be really colorful. So like you said, ain't no love lost, but man, it was just good to see that Florida Classic. And another thing I commented on that thread too, I kind of felt BCU and we're not going in on BCU, but I kind of felt they could have done something or added like another wrinkle to their show while Fam was down to kind of like stick to them a little bit more. So when Fam came back, they like, oh, you got to deal with this now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They didn't really do that. So like, it's like Fam, right? But they like square again. You know what I mean? So what do you think, Christy? I wish they could have done something because like you said, I mean, it's. Like you said, they're pretty much a bore, in a lot of cases. But definitely, I wish they would have done something. But I guess definitely for talk and for media purposes, it's good that the rivalry somewhat is back. Because I mean, it really ain't no difference now. I think both bands are like they back now. So next year it should be nasty. They should be way more mad at each other next year.
Let's hope.
Right.
Because it entertains me.
Yeah, that definitely would be the bomb. So the other halftime show I saw Prairie View and Jackson State. Just let me say, Christy Walker, that Jackson State.
Oh boy.
Is wonderful.
Oh man, that clip of them with that J. Cole.
No, what clip of them with J. Cole? What
happened? Playing the song. Oh gosh, the name of the song escapes me, but it's J. Cole, and it's a clip of Jackson State playing like in the band room, and they're playing along to the music.
I haven't seen. About? Yeah, I do. I saw a couple of clips of them in the band room. The name of the song that I heard was blanking me, but definitely I saw them. I saw that one clip of them in the band room today. But yeah, you're right. I remember the song that they were playing. But I just have to say, Christy Walker, Jackson State looks outstanding on the drill. And maybe that's just me, because I like drill, but marching band is like marches and formations. That's the core. And if you got that, I mean, excuse me, it's hard to roll with. I definitely felt that this year they've had some really, really good drills. And even though they say it's something missing here or there, or some of the battles or the attitude, their drills and their execution is just so beautiful, Christy. So if anyone has seen this drill...
Not that you're biased or anything.
Oh, man. I just not clicked on the chat. Shout out to Janelle Bree. Give her applause. She had any footage of the Florida Classic shows. I'll go ahead and send you the links that I have one guy, Janelle, if you're listening, he had it on his camera and posted on the. But you know what? I take that back. I think Showtime Web on YouTube has all of the stuff, and including the Battle of the Bands, because I didn't see the Battle of the Bands that Friday night before, but I love that venue. That venue.
Yeah, that was a nice venue. I only saw little clips of stuff, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Exactly. So I really like that venue, and then I got to see. I saw like only the first part of Bethune, and so they were able to have the lights with the drums and all that. So I thought that was cool. But since we were on Florida Classic, Janelle said Fam always has a good sound. Honda Corporation, scared to touch Fam right now, but they'll be back. And then she said she hates.
Oh, you think it's a Honda thing? It's a Honda thing.
Honestly, sometimes that's like the first. Because they're still like, well, you know, Fam is blah, blah, blah people. You know, those jokes are still out there. So sometimes I think, you know, that does come into play if people don't want to put them on that stage at this time. It's not like, it's funny, though, you say that they would be worried, like so many people are watching. But, I mean, we want more people to watch. But I guess in this day and time, where like Greg Hardy and all the stuff that go down in the NFL and, you know, Matt Jones, all the stuff that, you know, all the dudes is doing, I guess, you know, they, you know, so it could be a theory out there. She also said she liked Cookman in the stands, but their field shows are not very memorable. Their field shows are just okay. Yeah, we agree with those things there in the Florida Classic. So, but yeah, just about back to Prairie View and the Boom. I definitely was excited to see this matchup. So let's see here. The Boom came on, and the drill was like off the chain. They just had a good show. They executed, and they got off. They danced, and they got off. And it wasn't. And it was like, you know what, they dazzled me so much with the drill. It was like, I didn't necessarily care about the dance routine. But, of course, Prairie View, and it was their home court, they didn't do much of a drill at all. They formed a star, and then they opened the star, and then they had a drum feature. So, to me, you know, I don't know if you can beat a drill like that with a drum feature. You have to do the A&T where you got the brother flying on his shoulders and spinning in a circle.
Oh, Lord.
You got to do something like that to roll with the drill that the Boom came with, you know. But they still sound good, though. And I like their intro, Christy Walker. And they come in the V. I like that.
You talking about the Entertainment Tonight song?
Yeah, that's what that is. I like that. I like that intro, man. And them coming down, and you know. But I have to say, they had a lot of energy at the end, and it didn't really tip the show. I felt the Boom won the halftime show. I just felt that the Prairie View had that a part where they were like, JSU, why you acting like a wall, you know? But they didn't really land right.
Is that what they saying?
Yeah, the be a part. And then they ran to the sideline to end the show.
Yeah,
but it seemed like they didn't really end it right or something. Like it wasn't as tight as they could have. And I don't know if it was the arrangement or the tuba part, but something was missing where it was like, oh, you were like, they about to do something tight, and it wasn't nothing else, you know, to end it, you know. So I thought that the Boom, you know, I thought the Boom edged it out. I didn't see if they had like a fifth quarter or anything like that. But those were the two halftime shows that I saw. Looking at the clock really quick, the fifth quarters that I saw Miles and Bama State. Oh, right quick about the Boom and Prairie View. Shout out to the homie. Since I'm on the West Coast, it's the homie because that's what they do. The homie. Shout out to the homie Manuel Powell, our scholarship recipient, our first scholarship recipient there, playing now in the band. He sent me a link. He said he had a solo. during the Battle of the Bands, but I didn't get the chance to see the Battle of the Bands. If anyone saw the Battle of the Bands with Prairie View and Jackson State, definitely call in and let us know what you thought. 718-664-6025. But shout out to him. I've talked to him a couple times, and he's listened to the show a couple times as well. So really proud of him that he's down there. We were able to help him out, and he's going to finish the marching season. So shout out to you, man. We're proud of you, and we definitely here to support you. Definitely look forward to those next students next year for those marching band scholarships for signing day for marching bands. So shout out to you as well. So moving on to the fifth, I saw 1/5, and that was Miles and Bama State Christy Walker.
Okay.
And I think you said you saw
something. My whole name.
I'm sorry. I'm getting into. I just feel more comfortable. It's you, and you know what's so funny? You and Chris Jones.
Okay.
Because Chris Jones, man, like everybody would tell you IOS. Chris Jones is like a myth. Chris Jones will be like 400 years old and like marching, 180s down the streets of Charlotte in the alumni parade. That'll be Chris Jones, and he'll still be swole up too. You know what I'm saying?
He needs to call in more. He's funny. I like him.
Yeah, Chris Jones, that's the boy. Chris Jones, man. But yeah, just a huge respect thing. Just a big respect thing. And two, I was really, really skinny back in '96, Christy. So
weren't we all?
Yeah. Right. And Chris was like, whoa. So I was like, you know what? I could get like that. You know what I mean? Because he wasn't big. He had, the low body fat content. So I was like, I can get like that, So that's always been my boy, though. So, yeah, that's but Christy Walker, it rolls out easy. But Miles, Bama State, though. So shout out to Lotita Carter.
Yeah, that was good. I did see a few clips of that, yeah.
She posted on Facebook, who you think won, or some, people were saying here or there. I was, every time I know it's going to be good is when I see the tape is at least like 30 minutes long. So I was like, oh, okay, this is probably going to be, both of these bands are pretty powerful, Christy Walker. Pretty loud. And I was just like, wow, this is definitely a good, and then of course the who's cleaner then comes into play because there's a lot of power going back and forth, so you can then tell who's better. I thought Miles had a little bit more color to their sound. What did you think?
From what I heard, Alabama State sounded a little cleaner to me. You didn't think so?
Well, I don't know about, color. I think Miles had a different, I don't know, maybe it was their arrangements. They both struggled at times for the cleanliness. Let's just say, as far as
okay.
But I think Miles, I don't know, maybe it was the bass part or maybe some of the chords or maybe what they're arranging. But I heard just a little bit more layers in their sound. But I was able to tell what both were playing. That's kind of like Rashad test. Rashad is always like, well, what are they playing? Like, they're too loud, So yeah, maybe I don't know. Definitely, if someone else could break in another analysis. But yeah. So let me see. So I thought it was good. Definitely, yeah. I thought that there was a struggle, but yeah, I thought that they had a color. Then Miles, I just recognized them because I guess I've seen them in more battles. They started playing more of the songs like the true Miles songs that I like Pop Goes My Mind.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That's my jam.
That was awesome. I heard that.
Yeah, that's my jam. I even remember in the fifth quarter with them in Albany State in 2012, they were cranking that. But now it's like Miles definitely has an attitude with them now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think they're smaller than Alabama State too. It looked like they were smaller. I guess we don't know.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that last part.
Like Miles looks smaller than Alabama State? Do you think that they are?
They may be a little bit smaller.
I feel like they're a little bit smaller, but not by too much.
Okay. All right. And Alabama State, I have to say, their play calling was interesting because a lot of their songs, they had like these dead drum beats or drum breaks where they play something and they like the drum break, like they didn't have necessarily anything. It was these huge like stoppages in their music. And I felt like it messed up their flow with like the battle that they were doing. Miles had breaks too. Don't get me wrong, but it seemed like Alabama State would play something and it would just be like this dead, like, you know, and then they'd come back in with the fire, though, you know. But I definitely felt, I don't know if it's the play calling or something, I felt that they should have been playing more. Like they should be playing songs beginning to the end, you know, without so much drum breaks. Like those seem like a lot of like pep band songs to me or something like that, you know.
Right.
But I think that they both tried to even each other out, like as far as what they played. Miles seemed to play a little bit more old school funk, though. You know, they were playing a little bit more of the funk. But then towards the end of the video, and I watched HBCUbands.com. Someone it faded out, and it looks like we got a caller here. Let's go and call in. It faded out. And then they said the bands didn't do anything for 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes, waiting on the other band to leave.
Yeah, I remember that. I think Alabama, I think they were waiting on Miles, and then Alabama State just played 2 songs. Like I guess they got tired of waiting, and they were like, well, we're gonna play.
Wow. Okay. So I don't know.
I don't know what that was about.
Right. So exactly, there was this huge break, but then Bama State comes back in, and then Miles comes back in, but then Miles just keeps playing. Like Miles just pretty much keeps playing, and then
I don't
it looks like
that. Follow the rules of the fifth. There are unwritten rules of the fifth, and one of those is like, you know, don't keep playing. You know what I'm saying? Give the other band a chance to respond.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say it because I guess you're right. You should respect it, but sometimes I don't know. It's tight when it happens. I don't know. Like so they were playing, but Alabama State was playing too, and I don't know who was louder because I think Gerard had the camera more on Miles, so it was good. It would have been good to be there to see who was louder. But after 3 songs. And, of course, they had the sledgehammer with the Bia from Miles. That you turn to Alabama State side, and they band was gone. Like, they had literally packed up and dipped. So, I don't know if they were upset that Miles was doing that. But is Miles louder than Alabama State? Was they that much louder than them that they didn't do that? I don't know.
think they were that much louder, no.
That's a trip that Alabama State left. I guess that's the thing, or maybe, you know, like you said, maybe Miles was doing something or whatever. But so in that instance, Christy Walker, who do you think won the 5th?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask me that. Well, first of all, I did not see the whole thing. Oh gosh, I don't even want to call it who won. The audience. I'll do a cheap shot and say the audience. That's who won the 5th. You know, that's what you say when you don't want to argue no more. The audience won.
Yes.
Yeah, but I feel like I don't have enough information to say who won.
But it definitely the video made it look like Miles like blew them out the stand. You know, so a lot of course Miles folks were like, "Oh, they blew them literally away," like, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You saw that. But man, it was good. I definitely thought they were going tit for tat for a while. But like I said, I didn't like Alabama State just did it was just too much standing around and not enough playing. Alabama State. They weren't playing songs. I wanted to hear some songs, go to the bridge for me, and go back DC Al Coda or whatever and then end it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But we do got someone from the 410 area code. Isn't that Baltimore or something like that? Somewhere from the East Coast.
I think that's Bridget, I think.
Okay.
It is me.
Oh, what's going on tonight? What's your name and where you calling from this evening?
This is Bridget. Janelle Bree is the name on there, but I am Bridget.
Oh.
Yep. Calling in. How y'all doing?
I'm doing all right. Welcome.
Hey, Christy. Okay, so I watched. Okay, let's start. You guys starting with Bama. I watched Bama and Miles. I watched all of the fifth quarter. That was a sixth quarter. That was the longest battle. And I think it was because of like that 10-minute break when they were trying to decide who was going to play or whatever. But I think I was watching Double Time Entertainment footage, and they were like in the center of the field.
Yeah, they do good footage.
Yeah, they did, and I felt like, see, I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I felt like Alabama was I think Bama was the better band of the night. They were cleaner. Miles, when they came back off of that whatever break, they kind of came back with a little more punch. But Miles had, let me tell you, their trumpet section was killing everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, that hangover trumpet player. I'm like, come on.
Mm-hmm.
But they were the ones that also had those long drum breaks, because it became a joke on Periscope, like, oh, here come the drum break. Because they had those long drum breaks, you know, like the little drum breakdown with just the drums and the tubas, and then the band would come back in.
Mm-hmm.
That was Miles that was doing, and yeah, I think everybody who was kind of on that feed kind of went, we all kind of said, yeah, you know, by a small margin, I think Bama was the better. I think they were a little cleaner. They've really gone up on my list this year. They haven't been a kind of lookout band, but this year I was like, oh, okay, they kind of turned my head a little bit. But
okay,
they were a little different. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Well, so after the 10-minute break, Barney, he's in the chat room. He said the police got involved and told them that they could play 5 songs each. So I guess there was the logistics of getting the word out to the directors once the police got involved, and I guess they told them that they had so much time left. So after that break, I think Miles did come with more rap songs. So were they playing to you more drum break songs before that break? Because to me it was like Alabama
before that,
State.
They had a lot of those drum break songs. It was before then. After the break, so after the break is when it kind of got chaotic. Bama was playing something, and then that's when Miles started playing the B.I.B.I. song over top of them. But even with that, Alabama was clearly kind of hurt. Bama was hurt. You know, they were clearly hurt. And everybody was like, okay, you're playing over them, but what's the point? And then once Miles started playing over top of them, that's when Alabama left. So I guess they were like, yeah, this is enough, and they rolled out or whatever happened. But they left because everybody was like, okay, they left early. But, you know, at that point, it was long. That was the longest.
That was a long
sixth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was really long. So I wanted to chime in on that. And I did watch the Prairie View Jackson State Battle of the Bands Friday night.
Oh, yeah, okay, because it was long. It was like an hour and a half or something like that.
Yeah, it was inside of a gym. I always have a problem with that because acoustic-wise, gyms aren't the best place, but it was empty in there. Like, there probably were more people on Periscope than was inside that gym. That was really surprising. I'm serious. It was. We're like, oh, where are the people?
Yeah. Wow.
And that was it was just okay. It was just an okay battle. I thought it was kind of boring. Actually, it was kind of boring. Like at one point, we kind of jumped to, I think Alabama State was rehearsing or something on Periscope, so I kind of jumped to that feed. Kind of went back and forth. That was kind of a really, boring battle. I want to say they might have started with like a march or a chorale or something. Prairie View started. Let me think about that. Yeah, I think Prairie View started, and everybody was just kind of like, okay. I thought Prairie View was very boring. I hate to say it like that, but I thought they were really boring, and the boom was just okay. It wasn't the best battle.
Wow, that has so much potential, like on paper.
Yeah.
Right. On paper, that's actually the operative word. But it made me jump up when I saw there was a Battle of the Bands. I think I saw my little whistle went off Friday night, and I was like, Prairie View, Jackson State. Oh, okay, okay, you know. So yeah, that surprised me as well. And then I think someone on YouTube said that, you know, the competition, like, it just wasn't the same. It was, you know, it was kind of dead. So interesting
it was
take.
dead, and I guess it's also because they have, you know, the directors, they worked together before. They have really cordial relationships. So it was really one of those, you know, fun kind of, it felt like a little church battle.
Right.
It was just like really kind of fun church kind of, you know, it wasn't anything, you know, it wasn't anything to really get hype about.
Okay. I'm looking here at the chat room. Barney was saying after they told him they played the 5 songs, Miles was playing a B.I.B.I., Bama State was playing Neck. So I guess they were playing it back and forth at the same time, and like you said, Bama State dipped after that. You know, I guess they had enough. Yeah, I mean, but if you will, I appreciate that. I wish I could hit the other thing. We're going to do one more segment here. I guess talk about any other news or anything else that's on the radar. Anything else going on in the whole world, Christy? We'll talk about it the next break.
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna let you lead on that one.
All right. Well, we'll definitely do this last break here. I'll mute the microphones here. Thanks for listening, everyone. Shout out to all the folks at all the different Battle of the Bands and all of the games that went on this weekend. We got the actual season winding down here at the end. But again, thanks for all the people that have called in. Thanks for all the new listeners and all the people that are listening. Week 12 here. We'll be right back.
This is Gregory Drain, Director of Athletic Bands at Penn State University, former Marching Wildcat at Bethune-Cookman University, and you're listening to the 90 Degree Show on the Marching Podcast Network.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on Bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out Bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
Double Time Entertainment. Our passion is music and promoting HBCU marching bands as well as high school marching bands through high-quality movie videos and photos. We have worked with BET, Yamaha, Ludwig, Honda Motor Company, and been featured on CNN and Lifetime Network's series Bama State Style. We also help and orchestrate Battle of the Bands with marketing and promotions, and also became the official media team for the Queen City Battle of the Bands in Charlotte, North Carolina. Join Double Time Entertainment on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and now new on Periscope. Music lovers are noteworthy.
From photo shoots to graduation pictures, from probates to band footage, from pageants to yard shows, there's only one team you can count on, the Edge1 Productions. Visit theedge1.com and trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Chopping It Up is a podcast of one-on-one interviews with positive role models that have a connection through music and or education. Chopping It Up is all about inspiring our youth for a great future and providing a roadmap on how to get there. We also chop it up to give insight to anyone looking for information or hope in their endeavors. Chop it up with us on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern at blogtalkradio.com/marchingpodcast. Chopping It Up, changing the world through positive interaction.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Block Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
What if there was a Facebook for bands? Wait a minute, there is. Bandhead.org. Bandhead.org is a social network for HBCU show bands. You can create your own profile and post videos, photos, and comments on bandhead.org. Need somewhere to post events, audition schedules, job postings? Check out bandhead.org. Are you recruiting for talent? Go to bandhead.org. Bandhead.org, a social network for bands.
Hello, this is Dr. Kevin Davenport, graduate of Tennessee State University and author of the book, Practical Techniques for Building a High School Marching Band. You are listening to the 90 Degree Show here on the Marching Podcast Network.
All right, we're back. 718-664-6025. You're welcome to call in to the 90 Degree Show. I will unmute the microphone here for Christy Walker. And we're back with FAM, bringing us in with a march, because that's what FAM likes to do. They march. I like marches too, though, Christy Walker.
Yeah,
I really
like
love
marches, but when it's a battle between marches, like, okay, we get that you can play one or two, but when it gets to be like in the fifth and two bands are just going march, 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 that can get a little dry. But that's just my opinion.
I know. I be crunk. I be like, oh, I be all excited. 718-664-6025. So we're in the last segment, and the news, we always, Christy always has the insight and some news for us. Things are somewhat slow this week, or just a lot of things have died down. A lot of focus was on the bombings in Paris and the bombings in Africa and all the things that are going on over the globe. So that was a little bit more of, I think, interaction. Go ahead. You about to say something, Christy?
Well, yeah. Well, students on our campuses now are still, making their feelings known about, especially African American students on predominantly white campuses. A lot of them are, listing demands to their presidents about how they can feel more comfortable on their campuses. So that's still going on. And actually, there was a forum last week on the campus where I work, on predominantly white school. If you listen a lot, you will know where I work. But it was interesting because they did a live webcast and they had a moderator. And as soon as the moderator started to speak, members of the Black student movement on campus came and kind of held a protest in the middle of the forum and listed their demands, and so it's interesting. I think what's going to be interesting is after this Thanksgiving break, and then when finals come up, because it's about we're definitely on the downturn in the semester. So we'll see what happens if the students keep their momentum, if it just fizzles out. I don't think it's going to fizzle out. But, around this time of year, everybody's in exam mode and project mode. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what happens.
Christy, I'm glad you brought that up. It's interesting you brought that up. There was another post. You talking about the bros again. Shout out to Jelani Bakari. The bros, he actually had a post. He's from L.A., and it's so funny because, like, black folks out here from L.A., they got, this weird accent. You know what I'm saying? It's really funny.
Well, what did they say?
Well, other than the homie, but, they just talk, I don't know if it's, proper, but, it's hard to imitate, too. But, all of what you hear as far as Cube, I'm trying to think of somebody. If I really think of somebody, if I sit here and think of somebody, the stuff is blanking me now because we live on the air. But Jelani is one of these dudes with, of course, that a little bit of that Hoover accent, and he posted something that, just like you said, there is a lot of protesters at UCR, University of California, Riverside, and the black students are, protest just like you were saying. And his post was 30 years ago, that was me, and blah blah blah. I don't know. We talked about this a little bit. I guess it's the decision people make. I guess where they go to school. We all need to be treated right. But man, I always, sometimes when I see a lot of these students protesting, I can't help it. But I'm like, okay, what was your black college experience? Or what was your experience? Because, and I just want the world to understand, I'm not forcing or saying all black people should go to black schools, but I would like to see what more black students, the decision they would make if they had more of a weighted, well-rounded decision. I.e., if you've seen Tuskegee, or if you've seen other places, or maybe if you've been to a black college game, after those experiences, then how do you feel about going to college? And I don't know if people have that.
Joe, I think we might take things for granted, though. I mean, look at us, because what state did you grow up? You didn't grow up in North Carolina, did you?
No, I grew up in St. Louis, but my mom was from Charlotte and my dad was from Jackson. So
okay, but see, didn't both of your parents graduate from HBCUs?
Yes, Spelman and Jackson State, right? Okay,
see, that's the same with me, and both my parents graduated from A&T, and so it's kind of like, it's what you're exposed to. And while it's easy for me, and I'm not going to lie, a little bit of me felt a little smug and thought, okay, well, you should have gone to HBCU, you wouldn't have that issue. But I was like, it's all about exposure. Like, I take for granted the fact that I have, first of all, that I have two parents that graduated college and two parents that graduated from a black college. Right. I grew up in Virginia, 10 minutes from a HBCU, 30 minutes from another HBCU. I mean, there's students out there that just don't have that exposure, period. So I feel like, as much as I want to, be smug, I think some people just don't know.
Right. And that's why we have this type of podcast, so we can spread the exposure. Shout out to Melita Wilson. She has the HBCU campus tours that, send the kids from, way out here and, have that exposure given to them, because geographically, they say Wiley College is the furthest western HBCU, and that's Texas, so that's still a far, long ways away from L.A. I mean, L.A. is like, California is like pockets of black folks. It's super, super black in L.A., super, super black in Oakland, like, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So those young kids need some exposure or some type of HBCU, but they really don't have it. So, again, like you say, we're trying to build that on this show. But definitely, man, I definitely feel it, too, with the folks that maybe had some exposure, but they heard some other black folks saying something ignorant about the school. That's kind of, I think that's what hits my nerve more.
Yeah, that is my nerve too.
Yeah, and immediately when I think of that, just like you said, I'm like, well, you kind of chose to go there. You didn't want to be with the rats. You know what I'm saying? And the alligators. Mm-hmm. I remember one brother, I ain't going to say his name. I remember he came back from, I think, Southern. And the brother was like, yeah, man, they got alligators, like, all on the campus. And blah, blah. He's like, I ain't going back down there, And I remember my mother always say, oh, that's what they say when they punch out. They went down there and they partied too much, and they came back home and they like, oh, black folks, blah, blah, blah. But even still, there are even black folks here in California that, graduates from, HBCUs, and they'll see like, oh, well, I'm not sending my child, to a black college. I know how it is, because I guess, white colleges are perfect or whatever. But I guess that's the main thing that pops up in my mind. I didn't necessarily want to bring that up, but definitely I just hope that this show is able to spread the exposure, like you say, Christy. And like you said, I had two parents, but in St. Louis, that black college exposure, it's not big like that in St. Louis. Not with bands.
Don't have the Gateway Classic, though?
Yeah, but it's struggling. Like, it's not, and not like money-wise, but it's still like, not that exposure. There's a lot of racial stuff going on in St. Louis, but there's definitely
we know this.
Oh yeah, definitely. But there's still a lot of black folks in St. Louis still that prefer to go to Mizzou because they just know that they're going to have a better chance of getting a job. You know what I'm saying? That's always what I hear. You know what I mean? So
I believe it. I believe you. I believe you hear that.
Yeah, and then you have Lincoln in Missouri, and of course they don't get a lot of the pub like they should. And then they have statistically Harris Stowe State University. It used to be Harris Stowe State College.
I have a good buddy that graduated from Harris Stowe.
Yeah, so but that's like HBCU based on I think daytime. I think it's like daytime student enrollment. It's not
like
for
a commuter school?
Yes. And they're trying, I think they've opened up dorms because they want to get more students to have the college experience there more. But that's more of a statistic.
Yeah, I know they were struggling because my friend that graduated from there is an AKA, and she was telling me that I think she pledged like there was a citywide chapter. I don't think that Harris Stowe had a chapter. At least when she was coming through.
Yeah, it's citywide in St. Louis. A lot of the citywide. I was about to say shout out to bro. Cause
okay, you know what? What you're not gonna do is take this podcast to be a hour-long shout out to the bros.
You're right. But I get so excited when like people think. I was thinking about my boy DeAnthony. He went to Grambling. He was a star track team in high school. DeAnthony Smother, we chopped it up with him as well. He's a track coach now, I think in the Atlanta area down there in Georgia. He was a track coach in St. Louis and took a job in Georgia. So shout out to you. He plays there, I think, Omega Zeta, I think. Forgive me, I really
this is what we're talking about.
But you're right. I'm tripping. But Christy, but I am glad that you brought that up because I guess sometime maybe, we do need to hit it back home. But it's the exposure and definitely how we definitely feel about ourselves and now how we are in professionalism and how we carry ourselves. I think that has so much to do with who we are. And I went to graduate school at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I think you went to graduate school. You went to graduate school. Yeah.
At Old Dominion.
So we have both experiences. I'm just saying that undergrad experience when you finding out who you are, I think I just think it's important. You know.
Yeah, and see, that's my parents told me. They were like, you can go. They're not going to make. They said that if you don't want to go to A&T, you don't have to go to A&T. Like a lot of people think that I was pressured because both of them went, or it really was not that. In fact, I applied to like 4 HBCUs, but my parents were definitely like, you need to go to an HBCU for your undergrad. You will go to an HBCU for your undergrad. I don't care what you do for your graduate school. Undergrad, if we paying for it, you go to a black college. It don't have to be A&T, but it's going to be a black college. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, Janelle Bree, is she a Delta? Miss Bree, is she a Delta?
Yes.
But I don't want to start talking. But you're right. See, you know what, Christy, I'm tripping. I don't even want to talk. She is in the chat room. She was say the bruhs. Who was that? I was just answering her question. She did have something about she remembered Morgan at Howard played out in California at 97. Yes, there was the Angel City Classic.
Yeah.
Out here, and it's huge. It's not the same. Definitely the push up and down with travel and all that. It's sometimes hit or miss out here in California. There are a lot of people out here, believe it or not, in small pockets, and they try to build the HBCU game out here on the West Coast, but it's hard, man. There, it's so much with driving and travel. So we definitely, I'm gonna try as best as we can, but I definitely think there's some avenues as far as like bringing block band music out here, getting in contact with those directors, and bringing Dr. Davenport out here for drill classes, and also National Show Band Association, trying to get them out here so that those high schools there in South LA, they have something to compete for. So that's hopefully the push.
Why'd you not say South Central?
Well, they don't say South Central no more. They just say South LA. South Central has a certain connotation.
Yes, I know. But people out there don't call it South Central anymore?
No, they say South LA or below the 101, basically, where that's where how they treat the folks lower than the 101. And it's so funny where it's like, man, I'm going to California. There's not going to be so much racial stuff. Wow, we're still in America. You know what I'm saying? It's just different flavor.
There's not going to be no racial stuff.
Well, sometimes that's just kind of the differences.
They're like, we're not in the South anymore. Is that the thing? Like,
right. And it's funny because I explain to folks out here that at least folks down south are a lot more honest, and they're a little bit more they say what they are to your face. Not so much like that out here. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. So I think that has a lot of that to do with that as well. So I'm really glad you brought that up. Chrissy, got some of that stuff off my chest. But again, we're just trying to give that exposure for the youth so, they can have similar experiences as we did as well. So that takes me to what I was going to originally ask you. Today is the Saturday or Sunday, if you will, before the Thanksgiving holiday. So a lot of us don't have the full work week coming up. So I wanted to ask you, Christy Walker, what are you thankful for this year?
Oh, my goodness. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for my mind, that I can get up and go to work and make money and provide for myself. And, I'm thankful for all that. I'm thankful for music. I have a lot to be thankful for. I'm very blessed. And, I think it happens when you get a little bit older. I've seen maybe in the past couple of years, quite a few acquaintances have lost a parent, and it really has been getting to me. It's really hit home for me. I'm just really thankful that to have my family still around, where I can show them that I love them, because it's they may not be here. Who knows what will happen in an instant. Your loved one could not be here, and for those that may be listening that have lost a parent recently, I'm definitely praying for you and thinking for you. That this is something that's really hit close to home, because I'm very close to my parents, so I could not imagine losing one of them. And so I'm really thankful for a lot of things this year. But yeah, that's where I am.
Yeah, I actually lost my dad in January, so I definitely know exactly what you mean about that. But definitely thankful for my family and my kids. I guess I'm thankful for my family because I didn't expect to come to California, and I didn't expect to come to California. Let me tell you, I didn't expect to mature out here. I was planning for mad ignorance, and I knew I was gonna have a good job. So I was like, just as long as I keep it straight in the job, I'm gonna be in California. Yeah, California. You know what I'm saying? And I did all right, but I found my wife, and now I got my kids. So I'm definitely thankful for them because they make me happy and stuff, and I'm with them all the time. And I don't get bored, or they don't get on my nerves, not too much. So I'm really, really happy about that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Family's good. Yeah. But, I'm working with that because, that's just how I roll. Barney said that's why he started Double Time, to be close to his dad. So also know about, his dad passed as well. And so
he was a good man. I really liked Mr. Smart.
Yeah. So I feel like, I'm able to talk to him now, and, working with his son. Like I said, the whole thing with Hampton, I kind of messed up with that. But, yeah, now I get to where I get to pay him back. So I'll have to tell you about that one offline. I actually brought it up. I think I talked about it in one show, matter of fact. But, yeah, I won't go into it. So really outstanding. So my second question for you, Christy, before I ask you, is there anything else before we close down the show? Where are you going this week to celebrate the Thanksgiving holiday?
I am going to my lovely hometown of Hampton, Virginia.
Okay. All right.
Yes. Yep.
And you'll be with your folks.
Yeah, I'll be with my family. Yeah, my parents and my aunt, who's like my second mother. So, shout out to them since you're famous for a shout out, Joe.
Right, that's tight. Shout out to the Walker family. I have to say, I really like the photo of you and them. I think they dropping you off at band camp, and they smile.
No,
Go ahead.
That wasn't band camp. That was the first day. That was the day I moved into my residence hall. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they had the A&T shirts on, so that was cool. So you drive. How far is that drive?
Well, it's about 3 hours and some change from where I live. Yeah.
That's cool. It's funny. A lot of folks car trip out here, but it's to Vegas or it's to some other city. Not a lot of folks road trip like folks do back east, because we have so many states back east and so many just like you said, you just going 3 hours away. It's not necessarily the same. You either going to the desert out here or you just going to another city.
Right.
So we'll just be here. We were gonna go to Santa Maria. But we probably, that's where some of my wife's family from, and she calls that up north. I think it's 4 or 5 hours away, but that's up north to everybody, and everybody out here. And so we'll be staying here with the kids. So I want to ask Janelle and Barney and them, since we got about a couple minutes, what they will be doing. I guess they can tell us in the chat room. But while they doing
I know what Bridget has been doing. Oh my gosh, you need to check her out on Facebook because she is a chef, and she has like these pictures of all these cakes that she's baked, and I'm sure she's not even done. So shout out to Bridget for the cakes, and I'll try some. I'll try one someday, hopefully.
Barney said, "How did a Hampton kid get to Aggieland?" Hashtag SMH. That's what Barney said.
Hey, I can't go to school in my backyard now. That's a little too close for comfort, you know.
Yeah.
You know. I like Hampton though. I did apply and got accepted. Just FYI.
Okay.
I applied to A&T, FAMU, Tuskegee, and Hampton, and got in all four. Just so you know.
Okay. I actually applied to FAM, Hampton, Jackson State, and Johnson C. Smith. And I was the same, but I was not going to Jackson State. That's what I was like, no, I was not going there. Oh, yeah. My dad had groomed me from birth to march in the boom, basically. And I was excited, but in that last year, you know, before I went to school, I was like, you know what, I wanna make my own name. I was into the Wu-Tang back then, Christian. I still like the Wu-Tang, but I like East
Well,
Coast
you got
rap.
what is it, Liquid Swords?
Yeah.
Your little intro song, yeah.
Yeah. That used to be my theme song, you know what I'm saying? But I was definitely into East Coast. I used to wear some Timberlands, and I used to like have them like untied, because that's what I used to see people like on New Jersey Drive doing. So I was all into being on the East Coast. So I told my dad, I was like, yo, man, I'm going to make my own name. I want to go to like, you know, Hampton. I knew Hampton because, you know, it was on the East Coast. You know what I mean? It was really just like an East Coast thing. And I didn't want to go to North Carolina because my mother's family was there. So I was like, you know, I'm going to make my own name in Virginia, and it didn't work out. And then I went to Smith. I still wanted to be East Coast. You see what I'm saying? I still wanted to be East Coast. So I went to Smith. And then the whole thing with Dudley happened, and then I ended up at Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know.
Right.
That's just how it was. So, but I feel you don't really want to go into your backyard. Some people do it, but some folks you want to go away to college. Like, go away.
Yeah, and I'm glad I did that.
I am agree. And yes, Bridget says she is, cooking up a storm. So that's the bomb. So, Christy, so we close out the show tonight. Do you have anything else on the radar that we should be looking for before the holiday season?
Well, I'm looking forward to finding out who plays A&T in the Celebration Bowl.
Yes. And should that be, because next week is the Bayou, and then the week
after that is the SWAC championship.
Okay. And after that, then is it the week after? Is it going to be the celebration?
It's the 19th. So there's a week in between the SWAC championship and the Celebration Bowl. So, yeah, the Celebration Bowl is right before Christmas.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll see how, how the show goes. You know, I definitely want to give the folks some time with the families and everything. But anything else with the blog? Anything else with the Diary of a Female Bandhead? Anything else going on?
I'm going to do some closing remarks pretty soon. Closing meaning the season ending. Like I said earlier, there's not really a lot to reinvent the wheel at the week 12, but there are just some trends that I've noticed. So I'll probably write a little something about that this week.
Okay. Barney said that he's going to be staying away from the in-laws, and all the baby kids will be running around the house. And also give him applause here. He's celebrating 16 years with his wife.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm about to say, sometimes I'll be forgetting he's not older, but he's older than I am. I just be forgetting that people are like my age. Or you always just think like people are just your age. But he,
right, but now I'm getting a little older, When you turn, you know, I had a big birthday this year, so hey.
You
know, it makes you think about some things.
It does. So that's actually really cool. Nothing else going on for me. I do want all the listeners to know that Chopping It Up, our season finale with Ali Liddell, Part 2, will be this Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's our season finale, Chopping It Up. We'll be back on the air for Chopping It Up show in March of 2016, and the show will conclude there in August. So, again, we have those 4 shows programming on the network. What'd you say, Christy?
And the Bayou Classic this year is not, I don't think it's going to be on the regular NBC. I think it's going to be on the NBC Sports Network.
Right.
And so if you're looking for it on, you know, regular NBC like it's been probably all your life, it's not going to be there this Saturday, which I'm kind of let down about that. But, I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. But, yeah, so just be on the lookout.
We are doing something about it. Podcast. Who knows? We'll generate some more money, and then our bands will be back on BET or back somewhere on some national platform.
Right.
To see the platform. 'Cause, I mean, that was huge. I mean, you, like you say, you my age. I remember all of those Saturday nights watching those black college games and the halftime shows.
Oh, but I will say this. The Celebration Bowl is going to be on ABC.
Oh, wow. It's going to be on ABC. Oh, you know, isn't it like the first bowl game or something like that? It kicks off the bowl season or something like that?
It might. Yeah, that might be it. But, yeah,
right.
Yep. So that's good to know.
Yeah, that is. Well, I just want to let people know that if you are interested in becoming a sponsor or a patron to the Marching Podcast, please contact the show so we can give you the criteria so we can start to pub your business using our platform. We'll play your commercial, show your icon during the broadcast, and we'll post your website on our blog and help send out information through social media. So contact us so we can help build your business, all right? Really appreciate that. Anything left, Christy, before we close the show out for the weekend?
I hope everybody has a happy and safe Thanksgiving.
Yes, I totally agree with you as well. Please drive safely. Stay in the house. Don't drink and drive. But be safe with your family and your loved ones. It's very, very important. But like Christy said, as far as recognizing our mortality, it's something that's been on my mind as well. Especially with I got kids, and I think about, 30 years from now, like where my kids would be. I guess it all happens to us. So let's keep that in the forefront of our minds in this holiday season. So thanks again for listening. Check out the website, themarchingpodcast.com. Check out the blog, blog4.themarchingpodcast.com. Shout out to Christy Walker. Shout out to the Fifth Quarter. Shout out to Double Time and all of our beloved sponsors. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. Thanks for listening. And remember, the lectures you deliver may be very fine and true, but I'd rather get my lesson by observing what you do. Happy Thanksgiving and see you next time.